Hey everybody, Real with Wes here, coming to day 5, talking about being informed. Hope everybody's doing great. Hope everyone's safe wherever you may be in the nation and tri-state area or World Changers New York members, man. Hope everybody is doing well. So let's get into this. First off, of course, remember, tomorrow, Saturday, virtual service, 6 p.m. We'll be coming at you our next in-person, but I'll be on there talking about another life-changing word, talking about the direction where we're going here with World Changers, a lot of good insight, vision casting, what you're getting involved into in this new season we're in with World Changers Church New York. Man, we are so excited though, and it's such an honor to be able to minister to you guys. So I encourage you to tune in, subscribe to our World Changers Church New York pages, our YouTube page, our Instagram page, our Facebook page. So that's how you're going to keep up what's going on with your local church and how you can be involved and how you can engage and interact. So I encourage you to do that. Let's get into this though, being informed. So the last thing I want to talk about, and this week has been more of a teaching week, to give you practical tools how to navigate life is what it is. And so each day is uniquely put together to be one mini sermon for the whole week put together is what it is. So I encourage you to go back, listen to day 1, 2, 3, 4, share this, share it on your pages, do things like that. Man, make our church even more aware to those that may not be aware of what we're doing and what we have going on, to just continue to connect with us and get this life-changing word out. All right, so we're talking about today I want to talk about having diversity of perspectives. Having a diversity of perspectives. When you want to be well informed, you need diversity of perspectives. This was, they challenge people now even more when it comes to a successful company. Your board of directors, for example, or your advisory team, your PR team, your staff, those people around you shouldn't all look the same. Talking about even physically too, look the same. There should be diversity amongst you. That's why we believe in pushing gender equality. Women's rights equality, because man, that's another diversity of perspective where we've been walking around and people haven't realized in certain areas where it's been a heavy male dominant driven area is what it is. Well, you're missing the perspective that a woman will bring and that diversity to bring. Same thing when it comes to color, same thing when it comes to all these different things. So let me give you 3 practical things though where I'm coming from. One thing to avoid coldness, and some of it's coldness being empathetic towards people, but some of it is to avoid the voids of dark spots, the blind spots, and things like that, of proximity. What do I mean by that? It's like, that's a lot of different words. Let me simplify that real quick a little bit more. When you have distance and you stay in your own bubble, a lot of times it creates a narrow-mindedness. And all your information is only one perspective, and it feels safe, it feels comfortable, but it creates that distance. And then you're like, well, you view things from that narrow-mindedness, and you come across empathetic. You don't come across empathetic towards people, which empathetic is just simply being able to put yourself in the other person's shoes. That's important when you make decisions. So we start making self-centered decisions. So we start making uneducated too, though, and we make assumptions. And it's easier to be like, forget them, whatever, at that point. Why? Because there's distance. But when you interact with people, you engage with people, one, the part of humanity engaging with you and them starts hitting your heart. And it starts softening you. And it starts making you be like, well, I can't be just like forget their point of view so quick. I have to be a little more open-minded because I know that person now. I share life with that person now. I break bread with that person now at times. We may share proximity workspace or family and things like that. So you become more open-minded to hear what they have to say instead of just shut it off is what it is. And that's important when we go into all situations and all things. So now you can start seeing the world as a lot broader than just you and the bubble that it's in, and see how the world really works. Because if we continue to make decisions based off our bubble, it's going to be short-sighted many a times. We don't thrive as society that way. We won't go to the elevated place that we're supposed to, that God called us to. God talked about the body of Christ. Every joint has a purpose. Every part has a purpose, but it also gives a supply to the other one. So when you don't fill the voids of proximity of relationship and interacting with people and perspectives because you're like, well, I don't like their perspective, I don't like this, you're missing out and you're creating gaps in your decision making. and you're not making the best well-informed decision. The other part is it's okay to have people with opposing views. That's actually a good thing. If you had everybody agree with you, that's once again, you get this narrow-minded view. You want people to give them safe space to disagree. And conflict's a good thing. Conflict had to be, this violent, crazy thing. Conflict can just be simple. We don't agree with something, so let's talk about it. Let's hash it out. And both parties learn and grow. If there's never any conflict, though, you're not growing, is what you're not. There's no challenge. There's no pushback. There's you being comfortable and complacent in really what can sometimes, pardon the bluntness, but be in your ignorance is what it can be. And we like to be comfortable in our ignorance, but these are going to challenge that, to come outside of that. But you will grow and you will mature as a person is what you will do, and you will develop so much faster and so much fuller when you do these things. So it's okay to have opposing views around you. It's okay to invite those around you, because you're going to learn is what you're going to learn. Sometimes it may be, you know what, I hear your opposing view and I don't agree with it because I know different things, but you'll still learn something from there. But there's going to be a lot of times too at the same time where you're like, you see an opposing view and you're going to realize your own flaws, your own weaknesses, and your own ignorant areas and blind spots and biasness and all these different things you're going to do, and that's going to affect your decision making, and you'll have to be willing to adjust. But you'll love the outcome, the end result. That's what it'll be. The last part is there's no such thing as a solo act. Man, when you invite different perspectives, you're inviting the team mentality is what you're doing. You're not inviting the me mentality, the individual. And what it does is strengthens you, actually, because you're weaker by yourself. And so when you're bringing in these perspectives, intellectual ideas, these people with different information, these people with different wisdoms, different anointings, different graces, different abilities, different talents, man, you're bringing all that in, and then you're bringing what you bring to the table. So there's no use to be insecure with everybody is what it is. You're bringing in all that together, and you're only making whatever you're doing and whatever God has called you to do even stronger is what it is. So it is a beautiful, wonderful thing to have diversity of perspectives when it comes to being well informed in your decision making. Because when you have that, you're going to have all the angles, all the other sides. Because remember, there's two sides to every story. Then there's what really happened. But you can't get those different perspectives and sides if you just think it's in me, or you only get one perspective or what makes you feel comfortable. Now get outside that, break outside the box, fill the gaps of proximity so you can get better, well-rounded, outside your bubble, experience, wisdom, understanding, pull things off people, and man, you are just going to go to a whole new level when you are challenged to do that. All right, guys, that's all I got for you this week. Of course, once again, 6 p.m. tomorrow. I hope to see you there online, virtually, man, and we're going to have a great time, and then I'll be back here next Monday, and I will catch you then.